Klansman gangster testifies how failed hit angered Blackman. The keenly watched Klansman gang trial continued on Wednesday with the prosecution's first witness telling the court how alleged gang leader Andre Blackman Bryan became livid after one of his gangsters ended up missing the target of one of their attacks. Bryan had reportedly wanted 3 men to be shot and killed at a fishing village in Twickenham Park, St. Catherine in 2017, the witness testified. The court also heard how members of the gang torched 3 branches of a loan company in St. Catherine after the manager refused to pay extortion money. Bryan agreed with the decision to burn down the branches of the company in 2017, the witness testified. Bryan is a reputed main figure in the Klansman gang, who is the alleged leader of the One Don gang, a faction of the Klansman gang. He and 32 other accused, including a woman, are being tried in the Home Circuit Court under the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Act, 2014, better known as the anti-gang legislation, on an indictment with 25 counts, for allegedly being part of a criminal organization, in the judge-alone trial. The matter resumed on Wednesday after it was delayed the day prior due to the witness being unavailable. The witness, a former member of the Spanish Town-based gang, told the court on Wednesday that Bryan had called him and told him to inform one of the gang members, a man he called Ray Tay Blacks, to ready up the duppy truck. On Monday, the male witness had testified that the vehicle was given that name as every time it drive out is either a shooting or murder. After informing the gang member, he said he visited Bryan and heard him talking with 5 other alleged members of the criminal organization. They were reportedly planning the murder of the 3 men. The witness, who was testifying via video link, said Bryan instructed him and another alleged gangster known as Squeeze Eye to inspect the area in Spanish Town for police. Squeeze Eye was said to be accused Yaziel Blake, who is also charged with being part of the criminal organization. The witness shared that he and Blake were also instructed to report to Bryan when they had identified the 3 men who were to be killed. They did as they were told once the men were seen in the area. Further, the witness explained that as soon as the news was relayed to the gang leader, Ray Tay Blacks and other gangsters arrived in the vehicle to conduct the murders. Shortly after, one alleged gang member, identified as MAGA Man, began firing their guns, according to the witness. Later in the day, all the men met up with Bryan, at which time it was revealed that MAGA Man, later identified as defendant Ted Prince, had missed the 3 targets. This news infuriated Bryan, despite all the other alleged gangsters, including Prince, laughing, the witness said. He, Bryan, wasn't laughing. He was screwing. He wanted those guys to be dead, the witness said. He said Bryan eventually ordered him to hide the duppy truck and he later drove the reputed gang leader home to his uptown address. Meanwhile, the former gangster-turned-state witness testified that in 2017, an individual known as City Puss had contacted Bryan and informed him that the manager of a loan company refused to pay extortion money. The witness said he and Bryan, as well as the lone female accused, Stephanie Christie, and other gang members, decided that the burning of the loan company's branches in Spanish Town, Linstead, and Old Harbor would send a strong signal to the owner. According to the witness, the first torching of the loan office took place in Spanish Town when gang members broke into the building and poured gasoline inside. It was later set ablaze. The witness is to continue his testimony on Thursday. On Monday of this week, the witness had outlined the role of women in the alleged criminal organization and more gory details of killings reportedly carried out by the gang. He recalled how a woman was used to transport 3 guns in her handbag, which were to be used to kill one of Bryan's rivals who was a top man for reputed Klansman leader, Tesha Miller. The man who was to be killed goes by the name of Ice. However, Ice was not located in Warden, just outside of Linstead, St. Catherine. The witness claimed that Christie, who he referred to as Stephanie and who was also known by members of the gang as Mama, was instrumental in the gang's intended plan to murder Ice in Warden. Christie is a pastor from St. Thomas. Last Monday, prosecutors claimed that she was the liaison officer between incarcerated members of the Klansman gang and those on the outside. The male witness further testified on Monday that a bus driver was killed at the Spanish Town bus park due to his refusal to pay extortion money. Additionally, the bus driver had discouraged his other colleagues from paying the extortion money. The male witness told the court that the gang members complained that the bus driver was hampering their efforts to collect money to finance the gang. As a result, the witness claimed that he, along with Brian and another gang member, planned the murder of the bus driver. The witness detailed that the hitman, called CJ, wore a khaki uniform to disguise himself as a student to successfully execute the killing. Brian reportedly gave the instruction on how CJ was to be dressed. At the start of the proceedings last Monday, Brian and his co-accused all pleaded not guilty to the charges against them, paving the way for the trial to begin. The men and the woman have been charged with multiple offenses, including being part of a criminal organization, illegal possession of firearm, illegal possession of ammunition, facilitating conspiracy to murder, and facilitating arson. The offenses allegedly occurred between January 1, 2015 and June 30, 2019, in St. Catherine. The proceedings are being heard in 2 courtrooms, with approximately 40 attorneys and 43 witnesses being involved in the matter, which is likely to span at least several weeks, possibly months. Reggae boy Yazhan Anglin arrested for alleged sex assault in Miami. Miami FC says it is cooperating with the police following the arrest of reggae boy Yazhan Anglin, who the club signed in January. It is alleged that the 20-year-old Anglin sexually assaulted a woman inside of a classroom on the campus of FIU on Tuesday. The midfielder, who was signed from Harborview FC, was taken into custody later in the evening and charged with 1 count of sexual battery. "We are aware of the situation involving a member of the Miami FC and we are cooperating with local law enforcement," wrote the club on its Twitter page. The club has no further comments as it's an ongoing investigation. According to the arrest report, Anglin met the female victim on a bench near the 11,000 block of Southwest 12th Street and the two agreed to meet at another location. The arrest report further stated that once inside the room, the Jamaican allegedly asked the victim to perform a sex act and she refused to do. The victim attempted to leave, but the two struggled and Anglin allegedly kept her from leaving. The report says Anglin performed a sex act on the victim before a witness walked in and he escaped. Police interviewed the victim, who identified Anglin, and he was taken into custody. Anglin was being held on a $10,000 bond. Anglin has played in 12 games this season for Miami FC. Anglin made 21 appearances for Harborview, recording 2 goals. His performances earned him a call-up to the Jamaican senior national team, making his debut with the Reggae Boys in March 2020 at the age of 18. Digicel imposes vaccine mandate on staff. Telecommunications provider Digicel has given its employees until October 15 to get vaccinated or be required to prove, through the provision of PCR test results every 2 weeks, that they do not have COVID-19. Group CEO, Oliver Coughlin, told The Star yesterday that from all indications, the country has an adequate supply of COVID-19 vaccines. Indeed, our donation of $1 million towards procurement of vital supplies of vaccines helps to ensure that every Jamaican gets access to the vaccines when they need it, Coughlin added. Jamaica, as of yesterday, had administered approximately 768,000 vaccines. The country has set a target of inoculating at least 65% of its nearly 3 million people by next March. TV Star understands that there has been a high level of vaccination among staff at Digicel, who were told via a written correspondence that the mandating of vaccines is being done in a bid to safeguard the health of our organization, people, and customers. Coughlin, when asked if the company was confident that the mandate is lawful, said the matter has been carefully considered. We are aware of the legal position in some markets and will approach these on a case-by-case basis, likewise for markets that are experiencing shortages in the supply of vaccines. Furthermore, we are keenly aware that several governments have already mandated similar measures under more rigorous timelines, which have already been fully adhered to by our operations, Coughlin said. Jamaica News Daily News at your fingertips. Please remember to like, share and subscribe.